Well, good afternoon, pharmacy aficionados, and welcome back again this month. My name's Glenn Guilfoyle, and I head up the pharmacy specialist group called The Next Level. And we come to you each month in this shape and form, both written and short video clip, with some little morsel, some topic, something for you to cogitate over, all in the name and the pursuit of continuously improving your forward pharmacy service model. And this month I was caused to reflect on a wonderful opportunity I had to do some writing that's soon going to appear in Retail Pharmacy with Amanda Cito. And I thought a great opportunity to make our writing subject the subject of our monthly bulletin. So for those of you who don't know Amanda, she's a community pharmacist and owner, the branch committee member and professional practice pharmacist, Pharmacy Guild of Australia, the Queensland branch. And we decided to take a look at the topic of seamlessly linking the supply of advice to the supply of a medication. So Amanda puts it to us that a common presentation that she sees in her pharmacy is a customer holding a wad of prescriptions. And in amongst the conversation and that wad of prescriptions, this patient is typically male, aged 40 years or more, overweight, diabetic, and often disinterested in what he can do to improve and extend the quality of life because, in his opinion, don't worry, she'll be right, I'll be all right. An all too common presentation. Now, at a glance, Amanda goes on to posit that he would benefit from a meds check, a blood glucose monitor upgrade, which is often offered free by some of the manufacturers, and 3 days of intensive monitoring to track his blood sugar levels. How much physical exercise and activity does he engage in? A good question to delve into. Even does he regularly check his feet? And Amanda goes through all of the stats that make for some fairly scary and confrontational reading in regards to feet and other complications to do with this multitude of diseases. So how should we engage with Mr. She'll Be Right in a conversation to set him on the path of good health? At this point in the writing, Amanda hands the baton over to yours truly. And I then describe the fact that this type of polypharmacy, multi-affliction type of customer actually presents as a super opportunity to shine and create your forward pharmacy service model template, making the powerful linkage between product, service, and advice. And against the backdrop of the continued growth of the big box discounters, the spectre of Amazon, the inexorable rise of the self-educated customer via the plethora of manifestations of Dr. Google, which can be accessed these days, the industry is fast approaching the inevitability that the only thing left that these so-called sinister forces will not be able to match is a personable and confident pharmacist uniquely tailoring product, service, and advice for each specific customer visit. However, I put it to you that this requires a particular mindset of the pharmacist, a mindset that includes a bunch of characteristics or features. Firstly, the mindset that says, well, I'm time poor like every pharmacist, but I can deliver a whole host of value in a relatively short, sharp conversation, and that is my top priority amongst the myriad of other things that I need to get done in a working day. Secondly, the mindset that says I have the knowledge and passion, and therefore even time poor customers will want to listen to me once I begin to engage. Thirdly, I have an obligation to teach the customer things they don't know about their health and condition and medication. Fourthly, I have a conviction to take a long-term view to recalibrate my customer's expectation of what's going to happen differently when they come into our pharmacy. And if the customer only wants their medication dispensed, I'm bold enough and I'm happy to let them know which alternative pharmacies they can go to for that in our vicinity. And lastly, my raison d'etre is measured by the customer valuing my words of wisdom ringing in their ears louder than the actual products they're carrying out past the cash register and the door back out of the pharmacy. So, back to the focus on the polypharmacy diabetic. How do you pick your mark? Well, I would put it to you, if you have the luxury of commencing the conversation at script in, all the better. In reality, mostly this consultation will occur at script out. Too often our best intentions and advice will fall short on the so-called Mr. She'll be right. True, at a glance we have formulated a list of interventions and recommendations that we know our patient will benefit from. Sadly, Mr. She'll be right only hears us telling him all this good advice. He's not truly engaged in a conversational consultation, which might sound something like. Now, I would encourage you to dive into the written counterpart of this video and read through the conversation that Amanda and I role play out in this particular scenario. I'm confident that you'll find that a wow experience, even for someone as maligned as Mr. She'll be right, can occur in all really in just about 5 minutes or even less. And this example shows how we can say things like losing weight, improving exercise and eating better is good for you without offending our customers. The skill of good questioning is a technique that connects with the patient at an emotional level, rather than the dry approach of talking about signs, symptoms and side effects. We all have customers like Mr. She'll be right. We can connect with them on an emotional level by asking questions like, what are you doing about diet, lifestyle, prevention, with compassion and compassionate meaning. The key is to then shut up for at least 3 seconds. Give the customer back control of what they do or do not want to tell you. If, as you saw in the above example, the conversation or the example written, the conversation elevates from signs, symptoms and side effects to implications on work, rest and play lifestyle, you will have very likely made an emotional connection with your patient. When you get to the point in the conversation where you need to ask a potentially invasive question like, what are you doing about diet? Make sure your tone is open and non-judgmental. The credits that you will have earned due to your emotional connection will more than likely get the patient to trust you and answer those otherwise prickly questions. And with the answer that you've got, you can really spread your wings and give great value and a wow customer experience. So again, I do encourage you to read the conversation that Amanda and I have role played out in the written form and when it appears in Retail Pharmacy. And this particular topic actually has a part 2. So when we come back for part 2, we're going to delve into some of the tools and techniques of motivational interviewing that have become or going to reappear or become more prevalent again in terms of the pharmacist, your ability to positively impact and change mindset and behaviour where the particular customer's affliction is largely contributed to by poor lifestyle or poor behaviours. So I hope that's given you something to have a think about. Don't forget, we're always only a phone call away. The contact details are embedded in the written version of this bulletin. I'm Glenn Guilford. Thanks for tuning in.